sweet. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. The other side now is more the complete process, because we're about to take the axle and capture it inside the wheel. It's not going to come out after we do this. We take our next fill wood, very good bearings. We're going to put the bearing on the axle. We're going to put the threaded tool against the bearing. Again, no play. You want to really be sure that this has no play at all. As a matter of fact, we're going to do this with a jam nut. I want this to be, this will make break a successful installation. Very good. Move. Now there's no pressure being put on the bearing. The bearing is just there, it still rotates, but it's perfectly level with the rest of the part. So when we press this, we press both the shaft and the outer bearing. These are ready to go together. Go through the front. This is only started. This time you want to be sure to use a small hole up against the bearing. Use our press plate, spacer, and a nut. We do exactly the same as before. We're going to drive the bearing in. You want to hold the axle still. The only thing that should be turning is the nut. Once it's seated fully, you'll know. So, get some pressure on there. It's good to keep the tire on just to hold everything in place. And press it. Nice even pressure, as even as you can make it. And there it is. It's stopped. Okay, see this time the tool's coming out. So we're going to take a couple of nuts. We always have 3 nuts to work with, whether it's a nylock or not. We have 3 nuts that we can always do a jam nut with. Jam these together. Get that one loose. And then we'll loosen the jam nuts. Now all 3 of these are loose. Tools off. Have an axle. There's no play this way. Nice tight feeling bearings. And nothing's holding that axle in. It's just holding there. Nice. Now again, we put the nuts back. So I have a new jam nut for this side, or lock nut. And on this side, I need to put the hex nut back. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so both of these can be locked together. Disc brake makes it a little bit easier. lock. We don't need it nearly as tight as what you saw it coming off as, but we do want it somewhat tight. So I would suggest putting a final torque on here somehow. Be careful not to wrench on the spokes. But okay, we now have an axle, new bearings in place. And it feels very nice. You're done with the tools. Put them aside. You will still, I bought the lock nut for the inside. Normally the wheels have these types of nuts on the inside of the axle to secure it. There is enough stud here to use these. So since I have some spares, I'm going to put that one back.